How much money do you think that you would need to make every single month in order to live a life of complete freedom on your terms? $5,000? Maybe $10,000? Well, no matter what your answer is, I almost guarantee that the actual number that you would need is way less. I guarantee it. So in this video, we are going to talk about how the average person can design a life of complete freedom with way less money than they would imagine. But first, let me explain why you should even listen to me in the first place, because who am I? Let's talk about that. So, my name is Alan Woods. I'm 23 years old, and I haven't worked a job in almost 2 years at this point. But even though I haven't been working a job, I have been living an amazing life for the past year. I'm going to Italy later this month. I'm going to South America in a couple months. I'm able to live life how I want to live it. If a friend randomly wants to hang out one day, I can do that. If for some reason I wanted to spend a week or two without working, I can do that. If my family is having an event somewhere halfway across the country or halfway across the world even, I can do that. My sister just had a baby and I literally spent 3 weeks in Florida just lollygagging. And then after that, my friend hit me up and he was like, hey, come to Chicago. So I went to Chicago. But the thing about all of this is that I am not making a ridiculous amount of money. I'm making several $1,000s a month. That's it. I'm not rich. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm able to live life exactly how I want to live it. And I think that's why you should listen to me, because I'm not rich, but I'm able to live the lifestyle of someone who is much more wealthy than myself, because I am in control of the variables. I'm in control of when I work, where I work, who I work with. And when you take control of those different aspects of your work, then freedom automatically comes back. You become in control. So the first thing that you need to realize when you're going down this path is that you don't need more than $2,500 to $4,000 a month in order to live well in America. You don't. And if you create locational freedom in your life, then you can afford to live for $500 or $1,000 in some other places across the world, like Thailand, Indonesia. You can literally live like a king. So whether or not you plan to stay here in America or move somewhere else overseas like Thailand or Indonesia, the fact of the matter is that anybody in the world who has an internet connection can create an income of $4,000 or more within 2 years of hard work. Anyone can do that. Anyone. And the beautiful thing about it is not the money, it's what that provides. Because when you have enough money, you can take a step back from your job and focus on designing your life exactly how you want it to look. Over the past year, ever since I've had enough money to not need to work a job, I have been able to focus on my fitness and focus on building an amazing social life and just getting all of the different pieces of my life in order exactly how I want them to look. But if I hadn't taken that initial first step of putting in the upfront work to build my business and to build those side streams of income, then I wouldn't be able to do that. When you take the time to build up that stream of income over the course of 2 or 3 years, because that's all it takes, again, is 2 to 3 years to build a strong, girthy stream of income. And once you do that, it makes the rest of your life so much better. Not automatically, but because you then have the freedom to focus on developing those other areas of your life. So as a single individual, you can basically survive anywhere in America for $4,000 a month. So the question is, what does it take to make $4,000 a month? It's very important to really do the math here and conceptualize it within your head, because that is when it becomes real. When you say $4,000, that can seem like a scary number, but when you really break it down piece by piece, it starts to make sense. You start thinking like, damn, I can actually do that. So let's break it down. $4,000. So I'm going to start off by explaining the exact numbers that it would take to make $4,000. And after I break down the numbers, I'm going to provide a couple different strategies and platforms that you could actually use to go out there and do that in the real world, because it's not just about the numbers, it's about having a method to do it as well. But first, let's break down the numbers. So in order to make $4,000 a month, that would take selling one product of something at a $4,000 profit. Or you could sell 2 products for $2,000 each. Or you could sell 4 products for $1,000 each. Or you could sell 8 products for $500 each. Or you could sell 16 products for $250 each. Or you could sell 32 products for $125 each. Or you could sell 64 products for $62.50 each. You just need to do the math and see exactly how many people it would take at different price points in order to make that specific amount of money that you're aiming for. So that is the number breakdown of how you can go about making $4,000 a month. But there's two questions that immediately come to mind after saying those different numbers. The first question is, should you go for more people at a lower price point, or should you go for less people at a higher price point? And honestly, either one of those can work. But for me personally, what I've done in my business is I essentially provide marketing services to different businesses all across the country. I run ads for them and they pay me to help them to get more clients. And I have clients that are paying me $1,000+ a month each. And the thing about it is that when you have clients like that and people are paying you literally $1,000 or more per month, it becomes so easy to buy back your freedom. It becomes so easy. And in my opinion, I think it's much easier to convince one business or one person to pay you $4,000 a month rather than trying to find 4,000 different people to each pay you $1 each. But that's just my opinion. Everyone has their own way of doing it, but just find what works best for you. But the second question that comes to mind is, okay, cool. We know what the numbers are about how to make $4,000, but how do we actually fucking do that? Saying to sell something for $4,000, that's great, but how the fuck is that gonna help me? What am I gonna sell for $4K a month? What am I gonna sell for $1 to 4,000 people? I don't know what to do. Okay, I got you. Don't worry. I don't even trip. It's okay, nigga. So this is what you gotta do. First, you need to realize that there are so many different business opportunities out there in this day and age. Anybody can make an online income. Anyone. There are so many different business opportunities out there, and you can literally try out any of them and you can see success in a billion different ways. But from my personal experience, I can only speak for myself, but the two businesses that I have personally seen success with, and I've made over 100K from both of these individually, well over 100K from each of them. The two businesses are Amazon ebook publishing and digital marketing. And if you want to learn more about those, just leave a comment below and I can make a video specifically talking about each of those individually, but that's not really the topic of this video, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But like I said, there's a billion different businesses out there that you could get into. It's all about finding one that seems to fit well with who you are and what you want to do, and just going all in on that and focusing on nothing else. Just cutting every other option off. Go all in. Now, the second thing that you need to realize is that the game changes even more drastically in your favor when you take things abroad, because there are places all across the world where you can survive for under $1,500 a month. So just imagine that you spend the next 2 years building up a girthy business income and you're making 3 to 5K a month by the end of that 2-year period. And let's say at the end of that 2 years, you decide to move over to Argentina, for example, and you're earning $5,000 from your business, but you're only spending $1,500 to survive. So at that point in time, you are able to do whatever you want in your life. You can pursue whatever passion projects you have. You feel alive again. You feel like you're doing your life's purpose because you are completely free at that point. And in a lot of those areas, you can live like a king for $3,000 a month. You can survive on $1,500, but you can live like a god for $3K. You can do daily massages. You can have dancing lessons. You can buy a motorcycle and ride across the sand dunes. You can party every night. You can go to the bars. You can live a luxury lifestyle in many areas all across the world for $3,000 or less. You can survive at a bare minimum level for under $1,000 in a lot of these places. So whether you want to live like a king or whether you just want to survive, you can do that for under $3K in many places all across the globe. And when you have locational freedom from your own business, that ushers in the ability and the opportunity to do that. But that is only when you have locational freedom. The key variable that you need to be in charge of in your life is locational freedom. You need to make yourself remote. Now, the key thing that I want you to take away from this video is that life changes so much when you are in charge of the variables. When you control where you work, when you work, and who you work with, you become a free individual. You are no longer chained to the system. You can do what you want on your terms. But that is only when you control the variables. And after you put in the time to establish an income of $3,000 to $5,000 a month from your own online income streams, at that point in time, you can quit your job and you can focus on going all in on designing a life that is most pleasing to you. Now, I am not saying that you have to quit your job when you're making 3K to 5K a month from an online business, because you don't have to. But what I am saying is that you have the opportunity to do so. But when you do that, when you take that leap of faith and go all in on designing a beautiful life and on further growing your business, oftentimes what you'll notice is that you have so much more free time to invest into building your business. So not only does your income explode, but you're also able to focus on building a beautiful life as well, because you're not strapped down to a job 40 hours a week. So now your income takes off and your life quality takes off. So everything just becomes more beautiful. But if you hadn't taken that leap of faith and quit your job and focused on going all in on building a great life and building a great income from your business, then you would have never gotten to that point. It's a very scary step sometimes, but that's oftentimes what's needed to see massive change and massive results. Would you rather make $5,000 a month at a job, but not be in control of your time and not fully love what you're doing for 40 plus hours a week? Or would you rather be making just $3,000 a month from an online business, but be in complete control of when you work, where you live, who you work with, what you do with your time? You become in complete control of every aspect of your life. Which one sounds better to you? It's an honest question. Which one sounds better? I want you to think about that, because your life should reflect which one sounds more meaningful to you. If you would rather have that 5K a month and have a stable job, then go do that. But if you want to have complete freedom, you need to do something different from everyone else, because everyone doesn't have complete freedom. 90% of people don't. You do not need a crazy amount of money to live a life of complete freedom. You don't. You truly do not. You can do it for under $3,000 a month. Now, you won't be able to buy all of the expensive things and all the crazy luxury items, but that's not what it's about. But you will be able to build an amazing life and have amazing experiences. And that is what it's all about. Anyways, that is the video for today. If you enjoyed this, subscribe down below, and I will see you next time.